So, yun lang ang akin dyan. Wala ba na akong problema sa interest of government and country. It will never be used to promote the ambition or ambitions of Congress or by anybody else, even by the Supreme Court. But besides, if meron man, it should not apply to them who made the changes, modification. It should be, I said, progressive. It should apply to future elected or appointed people. Para walang...
Not even to the next president.
Not even to the next president. Kasi, you know, one thing mahirap yan is, when you are the incumbent, dapat nga sa lahat ng local officials, alam mo kasi, you should be allowed to resign 6 months before, precisely to deter you from using the resources of government to fund your candidacy. Governor man, mayor, alam mo na, you will have a lot of advantage if you do that. Mahirap. Fair is fair. Wala naman tayong ano dyan, but this is the democracy. Rotation dapat. Now is the time for a Bicolano to be president. Maybe tomorrow from the southwestern part of Mindanao, which would be Zamboanga towards Pulo. I would even relish an Ifugao president. Sabi, one term, only, period. 2 terms, tapos barred forever. So kung saan tayo na ilagay sa posisyon natin ngayon, yung batas na yun should bind us. Isa lang, dapat isa lang.
Kung ikaw na ang karoon sa posisyon nila, kung sa'yo ang ilang dapat i-amenda sa 1987 Constitution. And secondly, ano sa may tabunan po na itong prayer rally sa Luzon?
The second question is not clear to me.
The second question is, gano'n sa na po may tabon na katay himuon ng prayer rally sa Luzon?
Wala, I do not think that yung first question is irrelevant naman yun. Kasi mo, wala naman akong nakita sa horizon na any attempt to circumvent, go around, or move forward, or anything na hindi maganda. I just want to we live on our time. Kung saan tayo dinatngan ng swerte natin sa buhay ng Constitution and your destiny, nandyan lang tayo. Because this is what a democracy. Do not tinker with the cyclic movement of a democratic state. Do not introduce something which is foreign or not aligned with the original intentions of those who made the charter. Sundin lang natin the intention Kung ginawa 6 years, 6 years. Now, kung nandiyan ka 6 years, diyan ka lang. You want to make changes, make it another successively, walang limit, fine. But you should not benefit from it. That is really what democracy is all about.
Sir, what made you change your mind? Previously you said no for DI, no for ignoring the Constitution. What happened?
Change my mind?
Yeah.
I never changed my mind.
Change the position.
I never changed my position because there is only one position. Hindi naman ito kama. Ang ano doon is really, there is only a term limit of, I said, you should bind yourself to where you are or where you are placed. At or is, I don't know which the proper.
You don't want the president, a president, or any president.
It's obvious. That's why the Constitution says one term only. So you do not have the privilege of being elected again. You just follow the intent ng gumawa ng ating Constitution. In other words, do not, I mean,
They are saying, after the Cebu prayer rally, it changed a lot in terms of perspective. Vis-a-vis ng Constitution. Constitution discussion person. Why?
no, I've always been a stickler to, you can, if there's a record of a history of my public life, stint in government, I've always been consistent. Ayaw ko yung I never craved for any order than what is given to me by law at that time. Wala akong.
If you were to suggest what provision, what economic provision in the 1987 Constitution should be amended?
I don't care if you make the economics libro dyan sa huwag mo lang pakyan naman yung Constitution. Let us not beat around or find excuses to just huwag na tayo magbulahan dito kasi matanda. We've been long in dito sa gobyernong ito, tumanda tayo. Nakilala kita, naka-short pants ka pa lang. Sa bariya, kadabad-labad ka man sa asking questions.
Sir, without, you're saying that you're fine except the term of office. So if you are fine, which one should be amended? And which part of the economic?
Wala na, kasi dapat doon, kung elected ka doon lang. But if you can do it na i-amend mo, but the problem is, if you amend the Constitution and you are the incumbent president, you have all the resources to get what you want. Kaya mong bilhin pati yung barangay captain, so what result would you want? Huwag na tayo magbulan dito sa Pilipinas. Sabihin ko, ipadaan natin ng referendum, plebiscito. Bilat. Kung gusto ng presidente, the resources are there for him to utilize. Pagkabobo naman niya pag hindi mo matalo basta. Whatever it is, a referendum or a plebiscite or a result of a votation or whatever.
Are you saying that if you are going to amend, it's going to be a done deal because he's president?
I am saying that it's not the time to make changes in the Constitution. The Constitution is good, very good, the best that we have ever produced. Do not.
As a long message to Mr. Segurani, you mentioned na you will support for the changing of the constitution as long as President Marcos will commit to the people that he will not run again. Is it a challenge or?
No, it is reminder that even presently, you're not supposed to do it. Ayan na sinasabi ko. Well, bahala siya. But it's, you begin to tinker with it. Yan ang sabi ko, do not tinker with the Constitution. Don't. And it applies to all presidents. Don't. Especially prolonging your office there. Don't. Other amendments, fine. Pati congressman, pati masama talaga. Ano? Wala. Ganito na lang. Gusto mong baguhin from ngayon 6 years, you make it 10 years for one term. Maganda. Pero baka sa pangalatlong dekada na yan, huwag ngayon. Kung meron man tayong gawin, hindi para sa atin, para na sa mga ating anak. Huwag para sa atin, kasi yan, that would trigger a lot of friction in society. Magkakaroon ng initana eh. Sana kung kami lang mga politiko, you have to deal with the population, you have to deal with religion, kasi ang religion naman natin, you have to deal with the military, you have to deal with the police, you have to deal with the security guards, you have to deal with the CAFGO. Puro may armas yan eh.
Pwede niyo po mabigay yung rating nyo, 1 to 100, yung support niyo po kay President Marcos when it comes to economic sanction?
100.
If you are going to rate his presidency against that proposed Chacha, what grade will you give him?
The proposal for what? You have to have, you have to, you know,
Economic Chacha daw.
if you make me choose something, make a face on the other side. Chacha?
Yeah.
Chacha. But, okay. Walang problema. As long as I said, do not tinker with one particular sentence there about the presidency.
Yes, right.
Mayor, we got your point on the term limits that you would be okay with it for as long as it will not benefit the current officers. That's term limit. How about the form of government? What's your take on it?
I'm comfortable with the presidential type of government natin. It's a Republican form of government, presidential type. Huwag na natin palitan kasi yan na yung naabutan ng lolo ko, naabutan ng apo ko. Huwag na natin yaga-yaga. Kung wala nang may ibang putak kayo, kung wala na kayong ibang pag-isip, magpunta kayo doon sa likod ng bahay ninyo. Tingnan ninyo kung walang tao doon. Ano ang gawin ninyo? Wala, anong gusto mo? O kayo kung maubusan kayo ng ideas, bakit mo iba? Ilang beses ba tayo mag-fix ng Constitution? Flawed one? Okay, we may change it. What else? What needs to be done? Something else? Good. But not the prolonging of the barangay captains, nor of the president. Not good. Kung meron man, i-apply yan.
Resource, incumbent po sa allegation from a Senate resource person at the Senate Pinawi alleging that you and Vice President Sara Duterte received a box of guns from Pastor Apollo.
Kami magtanggap ng bill kay Pastor Kibuloy. Ako pa ba ang mag-deliver sa kanya ng kanyon bukas o machine gun? It's a very stupid proposition.
Wala ka tumahanan.
It's silly. Bakit man si Pastor mamigay ng baril sa akin? Saan siya makuha? Kung magsabi siya wala siyang baril, bigyan ko siya. I am about almost collectors category ako eh. Ibig sabihin, bili ako ng bili, pero hindi ko magamit. I can only use one. I can carry a gun only one of the entire collection, maski mag-abot ng 50 million. You're only allowed by the authorities to carry one gun, not even a rifle. Hunting, maybe. Shotgun, okay. But military hardware, no. Wala nga ako eh. All that I had before was military, pero MR. Because sitwasyon, alam mo na, mayor ka, punta ka ng bukid, hindi mo na malaman kung sino yung kalaban mo. Hindi mo talaga alam kung sino ang gustong gorgor sa iyo. Ulo eh.
Collection. It constitutes private army already. You have one. Even if it's collection.
Yes. Hindi ka collector kung iligwit na. Collector is collector. You collect and collect and collect. Hindi ito BIR. Collection ng firearms ito.
Mayor, in line sa statement ni Pastor Ramon, we would line is threat from the CIA. They CIA
Well, I could not really say that I can validate his statement independently, yung salita niya. But what I can say is that maybe somehow his life was in danger. Alam mo, ang kaso niya sa Amerika eh. Hindi naman dito. Wala naman ang kaso si Presidente, si Pastor Kibuloy dito. He's free to move around. And the process there extradition so it's a long process. Hindi rendition with a military extradition is always a treaty.
William said about Pfizer died, but he said it was extraction.
Malit na kaso yan. America would not go into that. America would not waste its time violating a law.
Instead of attending to the session of the Senate, you need to decide, is it possible arrest ko na siya na hindi siya dumatano, nag-attend sa Senate hearing?
Sino?
Si Pastor Kibuloy. Arrest siya kasi pinapaibitahan siya, isusurong na siya. If he doesn't really appear, pwede ba yun? Ay, pa-arrest siya.
May I hear you, the word again.
Pina-report siya sa Senate.
Oh, ay-
Subpoena siya, subpoena. Will it lead to his arrest?
Well, I'd like to ask you a question. What is the equivalent of the word subpoena?
Invitation.
Well, it's not an order. You cannot order an ordinary citizen like me to compel me to report to you. For what? If I don't want. Or if outside the national interest that you should appear, we begin to question you, what is the significance of that interest? Kaya pastor yan, kung gusto niya, hindi.
Kada so, makakita sa Duterte.
It could because unreasonable refusal. So maybe the first is more like a subpoena of court. Same effect. It can compel your attendance. Pero ako naman, hindi niya, ang ayaw niya, ano mo gusto na kanya? Wala mo na nakita na of national interest yung... Yes.
Our PNP right now seems to be involved in a lot of cases millions of pesos na yung nirakaw nila, yung planter, kinuha na for 40 million at least yung sila ngayon. At maraming kong crime na nangyayari dito. I've seen politician po napakarami ng bodyguard dahil takot na takot ng tabaco. What is happening in our country today with regards to peace and order?
Well, national leadership should. Alam mo dito sa Pilipinas, wala naman talagang ambos araw-araw. Alam mo, pasikatan lang yan. Ako personally, I do not need. Pinipilit lang nila yung pulis sa akin eh. Pero ako, I'd rather, if somebody has to die today, tonight, or tomorrow, mas mabuti pa ako kasi matanda na kaysa mga pulis, may pamilya pa yan, may mga anak pa. What the heck about going around with so many bodyguards kung hambog mo lang yan? Para sa takot lang yan? All you need is a gun, maybe and 2 balls. Pag isa lang itlog mo, yan ang problema. O 3. Either isa or 3. May imbalance eh. 2, tama-tama lang.
Mayor, you mentioned also na ang paaprobahan naman sa munisipyo is economic provision lang, okay sa ito. Granting, paaprobahan ka na sa Kongreso, i-agin din sa munisipyo, suportahan ka ang panja pagkakaprobahan ang pag-ratifika sa economic provision.
Come to think of it, you know what? Even if they will touch on everything there in the charter, yun sa Constitution, I will not mind. But make it progressive. Huwag lang mag-benefit tayo kami. Hindi na ako. Yung nakaupo ngayon. Huwag mong habain yung bituka mo. Gusto mo na a longer term for the next president would be good for this country, or there will be no limitations at all for as long as he remains to be a loyal and a good public servant. Wala man tayong problema lahat. Kung hindi naman santo, pero kung tao na matino na nakaupo dyan sa Malacanang, it can stay forever. Ang problema lang ganito, nag-iisip ako ng malalim. Problema kasi at may command. Yan ang bantayan ninyo sa inyong inihalal na mga officials.
Gusto na lang ako na mga question sa status ng possession na to. The status of possession na to before, when you said that Mindanao is separated from the Republic.
Vis-a-vis whether we are... alam mo, sa totoo lang, for it all, declare lang yan. Sabihin ko lang kasi sa ano na, look, you guys, when you think of legislation, we think of your work there as a secretary or as a senator or congressman or whatever. Think always of the Republic of the Philippines. Huwag ninyong pabor-paboran yan kasi hindi lang kayo ang Pilipino. Parang ano lang yung pitik lang yung na reminder, gentle reminder na, you know, shape up because hindi pa naman tayo pagkatribo lahat. Yan nga ang problema eh. Punta ka doon sa Ilocos, hindi ka lang kung taga-Bisaya ka, magpunta ka doon sa Pulo, hindi tayo magkaintindihan. Kung taga-Mindanao ka, magpunta ka Luzon, tulala ka palagi. Baluktot ang Tagalog mo o ang Bisaya ng Tagalog, mukhang Espanyol pakinggan. Taing ako.
Another Mayor, what do you make out of the going points sa Senate hearing ng First Committee ni Senator Montiveros about kay Pastor Apollo Tipuloy, not only implicating you but also dragging along your name and the Vice President Sara?
Wala.
What do you make out of it?
Anong sinabi niya?
Dragging, getting statements from alleged witness that you're somehow involved in the gun exchanges, transactions involving firearms.
Involving?
Transactions involving firearms. Sa pagiging mo sa witness that particular witness saw you and the Vice President bringing that back to the firearms from the pastor.
Ako ang supplier ng firearm dito, hindi ako nanghihingi. Matagal na akong supplier ng firearm, bata pa ako.
Has the pastor reached out to you when the Senate hearing started, especially when witnesses starting to come out, alleging all these things against the pastor involving you and the Vice President? Nag-reach out to the same pastor?
You know, there are always... We never run out of silly or idiots in government. Let them be. Komportable sila dyan. Komportable rin ako dito.
Senator Montiveros has warned the Pastor Tipuloy to be cited in contempt and will be arrested if he does not show up in the Senate hearing on March 5. You are his friend. You are Pastor Tipuloy's friend, and you are a lawyer. What is your advice to me, Mr. Friend?
Get yourself arrested. This is a free country. If you do not want to go there, get arrested. I'll give him the free choice.
Can I go back to that constitution?
Yes, what about?
You said a few minutes ago that you are comfortable with the presidential type of government. You all know that you campaign for president to run for president.
Yeah, it does not, let me correct you right. It does not mean that it is federal, it's not presidential type.
Let me finish my question first. You said you are in favor, wag na nating palitan, nabutan ng loko, nabutan ng apogo. But in 2015, when you campaigned for the presidency, you pushed for a shift to to change the constitution to shift to a federal system, right?
You're right.
Okay. But you had the first half of your term, you had a super majority. Well, even up to the end.
Look, it's just
But why did you not muster enough political will to get that shift to federal system?
to answer your last question. Because wala akong enough political will. Second, actually, there's not much difference about a federal. There's no incongruity there. Look at America. It's a federal union of federal states, United Nations. It's federal. It's presidential type government. I do not see any. Walang nakitang ano doon problema. Pero
Do you not regret that you were not able to do as you promised in 2014?
you cannot have your cake. May ang Diyos may bigay sa iyo, may hindi. So, hindi lahat ng kaligayahan na gusto mo makapkap mo sa mundong ito. There will always be disappointments. Well, I'm talking to you about life. Nothing's perfect.
Ano po? Kanina,
Ayun pagpo na to kay
sinabi niyo rin that your call for Mindanao, independent Mindanao, which you did on January 30 in Medicine, you said it was just mythic.
well, that was really that was a legit dream yung mga taga Mindanao. Because Mindanao is frontier country. It is not inhabited by originals except the natives and the Moro people here. So, yung dream of separate, looking at a certain place, like my father and mother, migrating toward an island called Mindanao for a better future for the children. Yun ang dream. It's always the dream of some people to be independent. Pero if it causes a rupture in our entire, I will not go for a forced carving out Mindanao out of the Philippines.
Are you saying now that it was just a mythic?
I am not. I'm not.
There were no takers?
I'm not saying any different, really. Actually,
Kasi wala namang, after you made the call, there were of course reactions that you cannot do.
well, I said, sinabi ko,
So you're saying that now because
give us a better deal for Mindanao. Well, if you studied history, Mindanao has always been a poor relative vis-a-vis with the entire country. Ang Mindanao noon, the least for so many years, consistently the lowest in getting public funds for our stock. Kaya tayo pinaka-late nag-bloom. And that was the complaint. Kaya it fueled the revolution. It encouraged people, and some Christians joined the Moro people in clamoring for an independent Mindanao. Klaro yun, especially the earliest settlers dito. Na dumating na ang panahon na lang, maganda na ang Magunoy noon, hanggang Rocky Road. There was never the slightest moment that I was thinking of placing the interest of Mindanao over and above of the entire needs of the entire country. At unahin muna natin ito because I am not as bright as anybody else. I might be a lawyer, good in memorizing. Hanggang dyan lang, memorize. Pero to be an enterprising thing about governance, malayo. I cannot claim.
Pinakalas na lang po. Kasi hindi nyo sinagot.
Kadili, may di ka po mo undang tindaw na mo ko.
I think somebody asked and you were not able to answer it earlier. The question was, when is are you going to
Prayer rally.
after another rally for upcoming election?
Of course not. What for?
So, the Cebu rally was the last?
Just a pretext just to go home to say the alam mo, Cebuano always yearns to say sorry. Any slightest excuse to be there. Pero sabihin mo just to be at the moment because it is demanded.
So there's no schedule for now?
No schedule. If you are asking the question in terms of what would be in the future of this country and what would be your views or opinions if this would occur or happen or not. I'm retired. I would like to stay retired. I do not want to meddle in politics. Maski na sa mga anak ko, if they can carry the burden on their own, pwede lahat na gusto ko pahinga. And if you would want to be comfortable with the number, double it. And that's why I would repeat it now and forever. I do not want my country dismembered. I do not want a part of my country taken away. I do not want my country to be disturbed physically, even the slightest. It goes for Luzon hanggang Pulo. Yung nagising ako sa mundong ito, Republic of the Philippines, for as long as I live, it would be the same Republic of the Philippines.
But were you saying that you were being your last time when you said that you want do you think that
Sa madang intriga ka, ikaw intrigadura ka yun. Separate, usap magtiayon, mag-separate. Hello, dan. Panghatlok mo lang na. Paano? Para. Yung na kabito. Papas ni mo, magsikagyaw-yaw. Yung bana, ikaw yaw-yaw, biyaan ta ka. Ayaw nila, mas lalo ako. Mas matanda ako nila, buuang sila.
But people said it's time for Mindanao. People should start it.
You can craft it the way you want, legislation, or we go into a deeper. You can never do what you want. Let it remain a republic of the Philippines.
So no more talks about Mindanao getting out of the republic.
Yan lang ang problema. It's the distribution of the national wealth. And you know very well, lahat tayo, if you study your history, lahat tayo, alam natin that Mindanao was really a poor relative of the national government. Ngayon lang ito, nakabawi tayo. Nung presidente ako, hindi ko nga sinabi na bigyan mo lamang ang Mindanao. Patas. Hindi mo naman sabihin na presidente ako, gusto kong bumawi na, nagkulang tayo noon, ngayon panahon ng bumawi. That ain't the way of being a Filipino. Kung ano yung, what's good for the Hulahano, must be good for the Ifugao, must be good for the Tagalog, and must be good for the Bisaya. Why? If you have to remain a republic, ganon talaga, you better adapt that kind of thinking. Hindi na Tagalog, Bisaya, or kalukuhan niya. Katanda-tanda na natin, may mga anak na tayo, kayo tayo mag-isip ng ganon. I'd like to sabihin ko sa mga Pilipino, stop this. Na pagmulat ko sa mata ko when I was born, this was a republic. Ganun na. Huwag mong kunin baski kalahating hektarya yung Samal Island. Magkagulo tayo. Even if you take 1 hectare away from Samal Island, yung bayan ko, yan. Huwag mong galawin. Pag hindi magagera tayo.